Good evening, everybody. We just got back from a little extended weekend out in a little town called Poulsbo, which is here in Washington, out on our peninsula. Yeah, it was a very good weekend. Me, my husband, and my little guy, our little guy, we went out and just spend the weekend in the rain. And if you know me, I love the rain. So enough talking, let's get to this painting. So tonight we're going to paint just a series of flowers again. Today the flowers are going to be yellow, and it's going to be pretty simple. It's going to feel simpler than it will look in the end, I think. I'm hoping. So let's get started. So I'm just taking a yellow that I kind of mixed, just a regular yellow with a little bit of brown, just to make it a little bit darker, more of a goldenrod. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna do 4 petals. They don't need to be the same, but we all want them to be generally the same shape. As I mess up that one. Oh well, that's okay. There we go. 4, and we're gonna do some smaller ones like this. And then another bigger one down here. Grab a little bit more paint. Another one down here. Oh, that might have been a little too much paint. And one more. We'll do another one here. Okay, and then we're gonna do one that's kind of facing down. If we do exactly 4 points that are equal from same direction up and down, same direction left and right, there's no directional change in the flower, which might be the style you're going for, but it's not how flowers generally are in the wild, because generally there are some that are very particular, but most flowers don't grow all the exact same direction, same shape, etc. So it's okay if things get wonky like this. So let's keep going. Next, I think I'm happy with that. I think I might add one more right here. I'm gonna take some of the excess paint from this middle one that I said I put too much on, and I'm gonna just bring it down to this one. Okay, and now we're going to do this general same shape of this petal, but we're just gonna do 3 of them kind of like this. And up here. I'm gonna do another one down here. 1, 2, 3. Maybe just 2 over here. 1, 2. Okay. So there are my shapes there. Let's see if I turn this a little bit, you can see without the shimmer in there. Okay. Now we're going to try and wait for this to dry a little bit. You know I'm really bad at that, so I'll try to let this one dry for a little while. See you all in a few minutes. Okay, so this one isn't fully dry, but that's okay because I'm not patient. So I'm going to make sure my brush is clean because we're changing colors. We're gonna go from yellow to green. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna make very thin line down to the bottom of the block that we've made here. Let's get a little bit of that excess paint off. Okay, and I'm gonna zoom out just a little bit so you guys can see the full, there we go. Okay, start up here. So maybe I'll start right around here. And the lighter the pressure of your paintbrush, the thinner your line. So I'm gonna just bring it all the way down. There we go. And then I'm going to connect. I'm going to connect the flowers to the main stem. But that isn't just straight line, straight line, straight line. If you think about nature, this one might be a little bit more straight, but we generally have a bit of a curve going up. And we want to aim for that, the flower stem to go in towards the center of the actual flower. So go like this, and this one here, we can't really see the center, so we're gonna go down kind of like this and bring this up this direction so it also ties to this flower. We're gonna do that here too, except this one's a little bit different. This one is going to be 3 buds, so we're gonna do a little bit of a green base to each of these with the same green that you're using for your stem, and then you're just gonna bring that line up to each stem. And again, the lighter pressure the better, because we want to have a very thin line. So we're gonna go over to this one like that, and this one as well. Oops, I have a little fuzzy on the end of my brush, so I'm gonna take that off. There we go. Okay, and we're gonna go a little bit of a curved line again. There we go. I'm gonna do the same up here, but this, where the stem ends here, we're actually going to split it, because stems generally split off towards the end of where it's growing larger and adding on new stems. So we're gonna go like this and up, and this one's going to reach up to this one here. I'm gonna give it a little more paint. I feel like my green is not as dark as it was when I started. Okay, I'm gonna go over this one again too. Just make the lines a little bit darker. Okay, I'm going to bring this one out one, there you go, just like that. We're gonna do the base of these little nubbins again like that. Okay, so there, I think all of the items are now attached. So then what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a couple of buds that don't have any yellow showing. They just haven't, they're just still growing. So we're gonna go up like this here. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3. And you're just gonna do a small little like that. Perfect. Okay, and we're gonna do, let's see, we should do a couple of them. So let's do one out, actually out the center here. just gonna do 2 on this one. And on this one. There we go. Let's see. Now that I put this in, I didn't really want this one here. Oh well. Again, we're just learning, and I didn't draw this out, so we're just gonna kind of go with the flow. Okay. Let's try one more here, and we can bring this stem out a little bit. Okay, I think that's how I want it to be. Okay, so then the next thing we do is, if you think about a flower, generally they have like leaves or something right at the base of the petals. Here, here, here. So I don't want to overdo it with adding petals because it's really delicate right now. So we're gonna do just a couple. So I'm gonna do one right here, I think, and very light, and then thick and light. I'm gonna do it same with the other side. I'm gonna come up like this. Just little tiny petals, nothing massive, nothing that's taking over. We'll do a couple of larger ones at the bottom when we're all done. So, okay, and then maybe another one. I don't want to add too many because I do like the way it looks right now. Maybe add one here. And here. And we could add one here. Like that. Perfect, then we can do one here. We could do one out right here. Perfect. Awesome, okay. So I think maybe a couple on these. There we go. There we go. Okay, so the last thing we're gonna do is we're going to add one more branch down here. Again, thin. We still wanna maintain the thin branch. We don't wanna have too heavy of heavy-handed paintbrush here. Do one like that. And we're gonna do a couple of just leaves. Okay, and then we can do maybe a leaf or two, just like here. Okay, so there's that. We're gonna do one more thing, and let me see how dry this is. It's pretty dry now. Yeah, I'd say we're pretty dry. Yeah, we're pretty dry. So I am going to get just a little bit of, oops, sorry, all my papers here are falling over. I'm gonna take a little bit of this yellow and I'm gonna put it off to the side, and I'm gonna add some orange to it. Just a little bit to make it just slightly darker. Maybe an orange red so that the yellow brings it to more of an orange. versus a warmer yellow. Okay, let's try this. There we go. Okay. I seriously need to work on cleaning up my desk tomorrow. Okay, so then what we're gonna do is we're just going to come in with very light lines from the middles and just kind of do a little bit of scratchies and some points, and we're putting in those, oh my goodness, where's my memory? It starts with a P. That's where the pollen is and the everything that bees like to find. Just gonna do a little bit right in the middles and keep doing a little bit too heavy for what I want to do, but that's okay. One thing I always forget that is helpful is remember to start this way and move your weight. If you're right-handed, start to the left and move your way to the right. If you're left-handed, start on the right, move your way to the left, so that your hand, if you set it on the paper, it's not dragging the paint with your hand, and your whole hand. When I first started, my whole hand would turn brown from all the different paints that I wiped. And then it's just a pain in the booty. So here you go. Here's your painting for today. I thank you all for joining, and I hope you join us tomorrow. See you all then. Bye.